Everyone, Waymon Daniels here from Open Mic Communications. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story and my journey. We're going to start with when I was a young man or a little lad, growing up in a home without a dad, living in poverty, growing up in a drug infested area, gangs and violence all over. Wherever you go, you saw drugs and you saw violence. So as I was growing up without a father in my home, it messed up my mind that I became antisocial. Grew up with very low self-esteem. Was looking for subgroups and subpersonalities to comfort me because my dad was not there. And in my mind, I felt like I was not worthy enough of love. You notice I said in my mind because everything starts in your mind. Your mind is the battlefield where you must overcome in order to become victorious. So as I was growing up with this belief system that no one loved me, that no one cared about me, and that I was not good enough, I said, you know what, then I'm going to have antisocial behaviors. These antisocial behaviors had me go to school, but not apply the principles of learning and education. I went to school simply to escape the pain of a little boy that was abandoned and lonely. I didn't want to go to school to learn so I could succeed. So the school system was doing this thing which they call self-promotion. You stay in the grade 2 years, they keep passing you and passing you and passing you and passing you. I laugh at that now. And I look back, they done me a disservice, but they didn't do a disservice to me. I done a disservice to myself by not applying myself to learn. So I got into the 10th grade at 19 years old. And my guidance counselor just came to me and just was straightforward and said, yo, you're not gonna graduate. I'm like, why not? I'm in the 10th grade, I got 2 more years to go. Well, she stated to me, you don't have enough credits. I said, whoa. I said, I don't have enough credits to graduate, but I'm in the 10th grade. And she stated to me they were doing self-promotion, which was a disservice to you. So I was hurt again by the school system. But it wasn't their fault. It was my fault. You notice I'm taking responsibility on what part I played in all this. So in the course of life was going on, I said, you know what, I'm going to drop out. I joined the gang. And man, that was the worst move I could ever have made. Joined the gang, got into very antisocial behaviors, going against community norms, family norms, and what I believed in. I just went contrary to all that. And then I started doing drugs. Just spiraling down, doing drugs, violence, you name it, I was doing it. And so as I look back over my life and I look at these antisocial behaviors, I'm like, man, what in the world? But that wasn't the end of it. That was not the end of it. I ended up going to prison for 7 years. And when I walked down that corridor and I looked back over my life, I said, man, how did you get here? You never grew up wanting to go to prison. You always wanted to be somebody. You believed that you can be somebody. Yeah, that was my belief system growing up, but I never applied myself to be somebody. Instead, I just gave in. I gave into surroundings. I gave into peer pressure. I gave into the easiest way that I knew how growing up. Just surrender your will to the negative. Well, I went to prison and my daughter came to see me. She was about 12 years old. And she sat across the table from me and said, Dad, I want a man just like you. I looked at her like, wow, you want a man just like me? I've been doing drugs, gangbanging your whole life. What do you see in me? She says that's what excites her. And that's what type of man she wants in her life. I looked at my daughter, I cut my visits short and went back to my cell and I boo-hoo cried. Well, guess what? 2 weeks later, my baby came. Her and I are sitting there talking. She says, Dad, you don't love me anymore. I said, baby, why do you say that? She says, because you left home to come here. Well, I guess you know I went back to my cell and I cried again. But those were life-changing moments in my life that made me take a hard look at what I was doing, where I was going, and what I was putting out. Indirectly and directly, you're going to be a role model to someone. It's your choice on which one you become and which one you are. Well, from that day forward, I said I must change my life. And remember, life is not to change until you change. So I had to make some conscious efforts to change. I changed my life, I changed my thinking, I changed my attitude about life, and I became who I believed I always was, but was never told I was that person. Well, I'm not only the founder of Open Mic Communication, I am a client, a participant of this great program where I apply it to my life daily. If you have any more questions or concerns about Open Mic Communications and how it can assist you to be the best you can be, contact us. Because I was once in the pit, but now I'm on solid ground. Thank you for taking the time to listen and have a wonderful day. Thank you.